Hi there. I just wanted to offer you a quick overview of the 5-week language learning workbook. How it works. The book has 400 plus tasks to boost your fluency and use them for speaking, writing, or mixing it up. Again, practicing that output that we get from our input. You need a phone, a computer, or notebook. And if you don't have a phone, many apps on your computer will work as well. These tasks are organized week by week. Week 1 are very easy tasks. Week 2, more difficult, all the way up to week 5, which is a list of tasks which are essentially for very advanced learners or native speakers. Please don't feel that you have to go through this entire workbook in 5 weeks, especially if you're an absolute beginner. It may take you an entire year to get through week 1. I like to organize my learning in weeks, and there is research-based history in all of that. And I'm going to tell you the story really quickly so that you can use it to organize your learning. When I was a young teacher, I really wanted a native level proficiency in Spanish. Early in my career, I taught Spanish at high school and I taught English at a university. During our breaks at the university, I was a language immersion teacher for elementary school students, and I saw how effective comprehensible input and interesting content were for students learning something in another language. Learning real, meaningful, applicable things, cooking, stories, history, art, drama. I wanted to be able to do that in Spanish, but I needed to improve my skills to have the proficiency level to do it. I also discovered as an English teacher that it was much more easy for me to give effective, comprehensible input to my students. I didn't have to think about it the way I had to in Spanish. As a teacher, I always had summers off from school. And I used to organize intense 200-hour periods of study. And if you recall, when we talked about the research of how many class hours it takes, those 200 hours were a way for me to be able to always make measurable progress in whatever language I was working on. And of course, this was Spanish early on. And we also talked about it being more difficult to advance in your proficiency levels when you get up to the advanced level, and that's where I was. And I also wanted to take advantage of my time. I completed a master's degree in Spain in 5-week periods. I studied in Spain in 5-week periods. And I also spent 5-week periods nowhere near Spain where I listened to audiobooks in Spanish while I exercised. As technologies evolved, these 5-week periods were easy to do year-round, and I used to do a few. This was after completing Spanish, where I had achieved the proficiency goal that I wanted to and started doing more independent language study. But they were intense 200 hours, which I liked because that's research-based and will show you tangible improvement. But those 5-week periods last all year now. Technology's made it possible. Some 5-week periods that I've done: journaling, study abroad, pleasure reading, binge watching on Netflix, doing audio courses while I walk and lose weight, Yabla, which is an immersive video platform, crossword puzzles, just to name a few. As you work through this workbook, if you find yourself getting tired or feeling that it's tedious, stop. go back to an input source that you enjoy. Maybe you want to learn how to play the guitar from someone in Spanish, or learn the salsa on YouTube completely for free. Maybe you want to learn about different regions of France on Yabla. They've got great tutorials and presentations on culture from all over the world. Maybe you want to read. Maybe you like novels. Maybe you're obsessed with audiobooks like I am. That's another thing that's great about the 5 weeks. You always get to mix it up. Do a few more 5-week periods and go back to where you left off and keep working through the notebook. So you may work through this in 5 weeks, or it may take you 5 years. It may take you 25-week periods to work through this if you've only got a few minutes a day. So be sure to get your workbook below.